doesn't.
This
It never.
from at a radical Robert at laserdisc.party. I don't know what outlet this is from, but this is what this.
Ha 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 ha. Oh my god, this is perfect! That fake ass Web 3D video game console that's been making the rounds among crypto bro circles and those circles that just make fun of them is literally just a reskinned CGI image of the failed South Korean console called Behance Oasis. They couldn't even create an original fake digital mock-up of a console that will never exist. Dude, like I say, yoink and twist. Yoink
Post
and
reads
twist.
like, ha ha ha.
Okay, so let's talk about it. The first thing that we have to get into today, Polium 1 NFT. Polium 1. Well, you thought Polium 1 was finished? No, it's not finished. As a matter of fact, Polium 1 is just getting started. It's the future, guys. It is the future. And Yong He made another video about it. We're going to watch it. We're going to talk about it and see what he's got to say and what the hell's going on. So let's get right into it. Polium 1 NFT Metaverse console humiliates itself even further. Console design was also ripped off. Oh, dear God. You know, it's... Are we even surprised at this point? Let's check it out.
NFT / metaverse schemes just get dumber and dumber by the minute. So not so long ago, I talked about the Polium 1, this console announced by this company called Polium. They're building the world's first multi-chain gaming console for...
New logo. Dude, they step in the right direction. New logo right here. I mean, it's still kind of... you know, it's whatever. I mean, it's newer-ish.
Web 3. It is essentially a gaming console entirely dedicated to metaverses and NFT games, the details of which can be found in this Medium blog post where the developers talk about how Polium is building the world's first multi-chain gaming console. It's built by the community, whatever that means.
Dude, this stuff put me into a rage.
On different blockchains.
This stuff really set me off. It kind of triggered me.
High-performance games. Yes, totally. This console right here, that's not much bigger than this controller, is supposed to play high-performance games. Here we have a concept dashboard screenshot that just shows
dude,
NFT
my favorite
games right
game,
here, or metaverses. There's some
Atlas.
details about the Polium 1 controller and how it'll have a fingerprint scanner. But the best part is the controller will have a dedicated wallet button.
Oh my gosh, dude, that made me so
what
mad.
This endeavor is all about. I don't know what does. They advertise a marketplace app where you can buy and trade non-game and in-game NFTs. It's just all about this speculative investment opportunity. The Polium store will allow you to play games, metaverses, and apps that are published on there. And then there's this leaderboard feature that combines all compatible games into one leaderboard, whatever that also means.
Of course.
There's an estimated release date.
We have to see how much Ethereum each account has.
I can guarantee you.
The bigger the blockchain, the longer the leaderboard.
Product by then.
Everyone knows that.
GPU will allegedly be provided by NVIDIA, and the software will be layered on top of Linux. They'll take pre-orders before the console's hardware is completely built.
It's the same shit.
That's a red flag right there. They want to take your money before the console is actually made or before any sort of finalized concept
money first, concept
later.
Not
to mention that the only way to pre-order is by minting or purchasing a Polium pass by engaging with crypto, blockchain, NFT, you name it. And finally, when it comes to launch details, they say they plan to make 10,000 Polium 1 consoles that'll be released to holders and partners, and then
over 1 million units.
When they plan to sell over
1 million units. This will never happen.
More hilarious is their website where they advertise Polium 1 as being able to output 4K Ultra HD. And by the way, this used to say Touch ID. Now it says fingerprint scanner. Touch ID is an Apple technology and trademark.
You don't
so them having that up on the website meant that they were opening themselves up to a lawsuit. They removed that. It also used to say 8K. Let me actually bring up my own video here. As you can see, it used to say Touch ID. The developers either thought they could get away with this using somebody else's trademark product to advertise their own, or they thought that Touch ID basically just meant fingerprint sensor, and if they lack the basic knowledge that Touch ID is a specific Apple-branded fingerprint scanner, then clearly they have no idea what they're doing. And it used to say 8K HDR high dynamic range, which is just not feasible for a console of this size, a console that's, again, not much bigger
You
than
don't
a
know,
traditional
Young.
controller.
This is the
They've
future.
removed
It
that
hasn't been made
since,
yet.
given the ridicule that they've been facing as a result of that. But they did leave up buzzwords such as ray tracing up to 120 frames
Up to 120
Their
frames
website
per
also
second,
features an
baby.
FAQ section where they answer questions so vaguely that they might as well not be answers. For example, right here, what will be the specs? We aim to build a high-performance console, but they don't detail exactly what the specs are.
I love
non-answers. You see on the
non-answers.
site are not confirmed.
Non-answers are
until
my
we have
favorite
a
kind,
functional
'cause it just
prototype.
shows that
They
someone's
admit
trying to
outright
conceal something.
That the specs
They're
shown
up-
here are
they're
straight
up
up
to
a
some
lie and
bullshittery.
aren't representative of the final product. Not only are they putting up all of these buzzwords to false market and attract customers that way, they're also taking pre-orders and taking people's money when this stuff is nowhere close to finalized.
Yep.
Now, it's not just Touch ID that Polium 1 has
Yep,
decided
yeah,
to rip off.
they
As I
stole the
pointed out in my
logo.
last
We
video, they
already
also
know-
went ahead and
know
ripped
about
off
this.
the GameCube logo, changed it up a little bit, the color, they rounded off the edges, and they made it look more like a P instead of a G. Now, Polium tried to deny that they copied the Nintendo GameCube logo. We did not copy the GameCube logo. There are multiple companies that are using it.
If you are ever trying to scam somebody, I'm not saying you should scam anyone, but I'm just saying, hypothetically, if someone watching this video right now is a scammer or aspires to be one, the first thing you should do is, if you're called out on your scam, is deny, deny, deny. Because you don't understand how much goodwill is out there. There are many people who will abuse goodwill, and it could be you. The average person has this much goodwill. Like, let's say it's like this much. And yeah, there's a lot of scammers out there that will want to lower that goodwill regardless of how it's handled. But you have to understand, if you deny first, then it's the other people who get fucked and you're in the clear. And I learned about this from a very young age from a very specific cartoon program called Ed, Edd and Eddy. And what made it so great is it was basically all about scammers. And of course, if you're ripping something off so blatantly as this, where you're like called out for using Nintendo's logo, yeah, you're gonna deny, because that's the key, that's the secret. Because if you tell a lie repeatedly enough, it becomes the truth.
A similar logo. Others did it, so it's okay for us to do it. Great excuse there. But we will illustrate a new logo that is original. They did unveil the new logo today, and it's just a slightly more adjusted version of the old logo that ripped off the GameCube logo. It looks like this. Now, if we compare it side by side,
honestly, it is
to
a little
the
better.
old
Let's
Polium
be
logo,
honest.
you will see that all they did was they took this cube right here, expanded it a little bit, and blocked off this part, and then added this extra square here. But other than that, and they removed some of the shading here so that it looks less like a cube. It still doesn't veer off enough to necessarily call it unique. It's, unique enough, I guess, to avoid a lawsuit. It, I guess, changes things up enough, but to
me, it is unique enough. I think this is unique enough, but it's still kind of... The thing is, like, here's the problem. It's like... You go to a restaurant, right? And you order a dish, and let's say you order a steak, right? And you said, okay, I want this steak and I want it done medium rare, right? And then they come out with a steak and it's burnt to a crisp. This thing is blacker than charcoal. And you don't notice it at first, and you take a bite and you taste nothing but soot and ash. You're going to be pissed off, first of all. But second of all, the waiter, they come down and they say, oh, we'll get you another steak. Your appetite's already spoiled. The same thing is here. Like, yeah, they can change the logo, but they're already outed as a copier. Like, you didn't come up with anything original, so it's already out. You only changed it because you were called out on it. And that leads to another problem, because now you set a precedent. Because if you are a scammer, which I'm assuming these people are trying to be, if you are a scammer and you're trying to continue to scam people, you should not back down. Never back down. If they, like, the fact that they made this concession, which, don't get me right, this is the right thing to do, but if they're trying to be successful scam artists, they should not have done this. Because now it creates a precedent that they will bow down to social pressure.
It's just such a cheap attempt. I mean, that's what this whole Polium 1 endeavor
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal. It's a complete cheap attempt to get money. That's all NFTs and crypto have ever been.
Try to
it's
normalize
fictitious capital.
NFTs, metaverse, blockchain, you name it, all in the hopes of revitalizing the hype surrounding a landscape that has been collapsing these past few months. Interest surrounding NFTs have diminished. NFT sales have diminished. Cryptocurrency has crashed. There's a landscape that is currently just in such dire straits that it seems as though these NFT bros will try just about anything to try to spruce things back up. But along the way, they'll engage in the thing that's keeping
Is there any hope for the Polium 1, guys?
Scam-ridden, theft-ridden, crime-ridden, scheme-ridden this all is. How shady this whole landscape is. What a wild, wild west this whole landscape is.
What
and the way they try
wild
to
west,
get people hyped for NFTs again is by stealing, whether it's the Touch ID trademark from Apple or GameCube's logo. And then next up,
look,
this is where it really is at its most egregious when it comes to them stealing somebody else's work. The render of the console itself, lo and behold, is not original. As pointed out here by Twitter user
Of course it wasn't.
This
it never
shot from at Radical Robert at laserdisc.party. I don't know what outlet this is from, but this is what this
Ha 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 ha. Oh my god, this is perfect! That fake ass Web3D video game console that's been making the rounds among crypto bro circles and those circles that just make fun of them is literally just a reskinned CGI image of the failed South Korean console called Behance Oasis. They couldn't even create an original fake digital mock-up of a console that will never exist. Dude, like I say, yoink and twist. Yoink and twist.
Like, ha 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 ha. Oh my god, this is perfect.
I love it.
That fake-ass Web3 video game console that's been making the rounds among the crypto bro circles and those
Let's
circles
see the comparison.
Like,
how much they changed the homework.
Reskinned CGI image of a failed South Korean console called the Behance Oasis. They couldn't even create an original fake digital mock-up of a console that will never exist. This is true, ladies and gentlemen. I checked this out myself. There is a website for that South Korean console, the Behance Oasis, and that website looks something like this. You can see right here the design of the console and the controller is straight up identical. The folks at Polium 1 just directly ripped these assets, changed the homework up a little bit,
changed the
and
green
then posted
to a
that
purple,
as sort of the preliminary design, the preliminary concept of what the final console will supposedly look like. You know, the one that's going to play games at 8K and 120
Do you think
frames per
something
second.
like that couldn't even play games in that?
For a console of this size, unless you're talking...
The only way that I think they need to make this clear, just so they can keep the scam running, but the only way a console that size could run games the way that it's claiming to run them is if Polium, which I highly, 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 highly doubt they have access to this, but they would have access to basically virtual rendering, kind of like the Stadia, where they have rendering via a cloud and people are playing the video games through that cloud. And then they basically stream the rendered concept back to the screen. But that takes so much energy and hardware and infrastructure to do properly. There's just no way. There's no way they have access to that kind of shit. Because the only people who are doing it is Stadia, and they're even having problems.
About very kind of graphics, non-intensive titles.
Otherwise,
you can
this
especially
is just
notice
a
the similarities when I switch back and forth between this Oasis screenshot on the official website and the Polium 1. The controller you can see with the big touchpad in the middle, the shape of everything, the fact that this console has those grills on the sides like so, and the lighting to some degree is also copied. The two USB ports, which is what I assume these are, USB-A ports, you can see on the sides right here, are placed in identical positions. They just changed up the render ever so slightly to differentiate it somewhat.
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Much like the GameCube logo, you can tell that it's just straight
the
up
future.
a complete and utter ripoff. The criticism that NFTs
We forgot their 4D chess move. It might be a massive controller
of expression. The fact that it's just trying to
oh my god,
turn
what if the
these
controller's
kind of cheaply
huge?
made
Holy shit.
artworks into investment opportunities.
You're right.
Rather than
I didn't
let
think
just
about that.
art be what it is.
Dude,
and
that would
not
be
have
fucking
it be its own
oh
stock
my
market.
god,
Is the
dude,
constant
yes.
theft
I want to
that
believe.
occurs in
I'm a
this
believer,
landscape. People
guys.
taking others' work, others' artwork, others' music, others' you name it, that were not given consent to be sold as NFTs. They're stolen and then sold as NFTs for profit.
True.
And essentially people are benefiting from others' work. That's a big major point of contention surrounding NFTs, and the lack of regulation just enables
do you
that
think NFTs are gonna die?
Very little in the way of recourse.
Or do you think it's
and
just
so
gonna
what
be
does
like a
Polium
thing
do?
forever?
The geniuses over there,
I think they're gonna
decide
die
that
in the
the
next
first
several years.
instinct that they should lean towards is to take other people's work and sell it off as their own. Be
I
it
think it's just a
Touch
fad.
ID,
I don't think
the
it's
GameCube logo, or the
crypto as a
South
whole.
Korean
I
Oasis
don't know,
console,
but I think
whose design
NFTs are
is
just
damn
something
near
else entirely.
identical to the Polium 1. All they did was prove the stigmas right. They've only further stigmatized NFTs and metaverse, only further made them the butt of the joke.
Yeah, you think
Made
NFTs?
the internet
you think
further
NFTs
point
are
and
gonna
laugh
die?
and ridicule
Yeah, me too.
at this hilarious endeavor that is no doubt nothing more than a scam, which is what the entire NFT metaverse landscape is turning out to be.
It's
in
the
current state
I
of
love
what
it.
companies
I
are
love the
presenting
scams
and how they're
because
prioritizing the monetization aspect rather than any kind of
I love it
actual
because
practical
it's not even
use
just
that would benefit us.
It's not even the people scamming. It's not even the people scamming the other people who are buying NFTs and crypto. But also the reason why I love it is because I like to see these people. It's like a self-report. Like if I know you buy an NFT, like if you own a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, either one, there's two categories of people who own those. People who were given them by MoonPay under an NDA so that they could promote it, and two, people who legit bought them. And if you legit bought an NFT, it's like you have to. It's like you believe it's gonna make you money. That's the purpose. So it's like, yeah, I bought this non-existent piece of art, but some other idiot with a larger wallet's gonna buy it from me. There's always a bigger idiot. There's always a bigger fish. Is that the concept? Well, if that's got to stop somewhere. Someone's got to catch the buck. And I don't think a lot of these guys know already that they're the big idiot. Man, God.
Some way that provide a useful service that we'd be happy to pay for. We don't even know that much about the company, how well funded they are. Do they have the manpower and resources to be able to develop a console like this and actually...
I can tell you what this is. This is a handful of people at best. A handful of people at best, with one or two people invested into it, having a considerable amount of money, like maybe 6-7 figures. And they figured, hey, how can we scam more people? How can we scam more people? And the people in this group that are invested in this, they're anywhere between 30 and 50, and they're midlife crisis, hyper crypto enthusiasts that are losers, and they can't come up with anything original to make them actual large amounts of money. And that's why every single concept involving with this project has been stolen and twisted. And that's the beauty of it. You got these crypto boomers with money thinking, man, yeah, we can rip off these Zoomers and millennials and we'll make this fake bullshit console, and they'll buy it and they'll love it. And guess what? A lot of them will, but also a lot of them won't. And then anybody who gets involved in this project at this point is just, this thing's practically dead on arrival now. I think everyone would agree that this thing's going to be dead on arrival, but I'm kind of invested now.
Manufacture them on a mass level from 10,000 to 1 million, which is what they plan for the next 2 years. Sounds like a damn near impossibility to me, considering that they don't even know that Touch ID is an Apple trademarked product. Or maybe they did and they just decided to risk it.
Look, it's simple. They'll sell 1 million. They're going to sell 1 million copies. I'm going to get a date with Emma Watson. climate change is not real. The sky is red. Money does grow on trees. All of it's true. It's all true, chat. Believe it.
Either way, it looks bad. Either they're engaging nefariously and stealing on purpose, or they're just really, really freaking stupid and incompetent and have no clue what they're doing here.
Could
and
be.
If they
I
can't
think it's a
even
combination
get not
of
marketing
both.
Touch ID as if it's your own
I think they're
trademark
both
right,
stupid
do you
and
think
evil.
they'll get an entire console launch right? Especially when their roadmap looks like this.
The fact that they didn't know that Touch ID was copyright owned by Apple leads me to think they're
planning,
stupid.
console design, hardware development, software development, no actual specifics, just very, very nebulous, nondescript words thrown out there with no specific months or years even for some of these.
The timeline isn't important.
Things
This is an
will
Ed,
be
Ed, and
ready
Eddie
for
project.
launch by 2024. Even in the overview section, sure, we got some years here and there,
Game
but it's
tag
just
claim.
a bunch of words that they throw out there without fully detailing what this roadmap
Game
actually
tag
entails. This
claim.
is, you can hardly call this a roadmap. It's just a pathetic attempt across the board, and yet more proof that this is the kind of stuff you can expect from NFTs and Metaverse.
Yep.
It's all about creating a dedicated wallet button. It's all about lying to customers. It's all about stealing other people's work.
It's all about
it's just
a scam.
tripling down on the negative aspects that
the
we've
ultimate
associated
scam.
NFTs and Metaverse and blockchain with. And once again, all the more reason to ensure that crap like this never, ever gets normalized in the gaming landscape. There's already enough crap like microtransactions, loot boxes, gambling, you name it. That's been normalized enough. That's already
Polium 1
kind of
now, guys.
ruined so much of gaming in many
Pre-order.
respects. There's no need to add
Right
this
here.
shitty extra layer on top of all of that. Or at the very least, that's one man's take. Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts and opinions are on the latest surrounding this hilariously awful Polium.
I don't even know what to
NFT
say. It's like
Metaverse
so
dedicated
shameless, but at the
console.
same
And to be
time, like,
further updated on all
they're
things
still trucking
gaming news,
forward.
reviews, and discussions, stay tuned right here on YongYea. I'll see you guys next time. Yong out.
They get an F for failure, but an A for ambition. But damn, anybody who buys that's gotta be, they gotta be out of their mind. That's all I can say about that.